done. So we'll not do that again. Let me clean stories. You got an idea on the stories?
Hey, everybody, just want to let you know that episodes.
I got father and son already up.
What's happening?
Hello, my savages. Oh, I got 2 cameos. Will you repost the Mother's Day one? Put that up right away. That's first. Hey guys, it is Mother's Day weekend. I hope you guys are ready for this. And that is Big Jeff right there, smiling right here. I'm gonna let Jeff get off to some work he's doing. We're multitasking today, guys, and so I will. As we keep going here, the one thing I do want to talk to you guys about is momentum. Is what we were talking about the other day, and progress. Momentum could be confused for progress, but I'm talking about the real progress. So don't think just because you're busy, you're productive. Don't think just because you have momentum that you're getting better. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's just some stuff I was reading over the weekend, just trying to see how I can, at the level I'm at right now, I feel like I'm still climbing that hill, but we're getting close to that top, right? And to where I get a coast for a little bit, maybe until I get into the divot and back up the next hill. But I was realizing that I was not doing things that I could have done to help us get up that hill. And I thought I was doing everything. Again, I was very, very busy, was not 100% productive. So sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to gut check yourself. Any of you guys ever have that kind of situation where you kind of you look at yourself and you go, hey, I could be doing better, not more, but better. I think that was one of the biggest things that I saw, and I really saw this last week going into this week, that I could do things better, more productive, instead of so crazy busy, be more precise on things. So less momentum and more, what was the second word? Progress. That being said, let's bring the big stud in here. There he is.
What's up, guys? How you doing, Mike?
Let me get the volume. My boy Johnny is here. Don't change nothing. That's on my side, guys. 1 second. There we go. Johnny.
How you doing, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Good, brother. Doing good. Doing good.
Awesome. Good to see you. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. I sent Johnny a nice little list for you guys today.
Yes.
Some great things that he'll be able to talk about and talk through us on this aspect of Titan Medical and what's going on. We have the big weekend this weekend, Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. But let's stay on the order that I sent over. Let me check one of my 3 phones. Why do you have 3 phones, dude?
I got the list.
All right. So I thought this would be good because you started your business, and during that time, social media came into play. Really came into a bigger fruition. I know that Instagram. Anybody know the year Instagram started?
Mm.
08. So I mean, we were around the same time, but we didn't start using it for free advertisement.
No, definitely not.
Johnny, how do you build a social media following to push your company? What are some of the traits that you can give these people out there that may be starting a business and can learn from you, and how you monetize social media to help your businesses?
Yeah.
The
So,
billboards at the back days.
yeah, I mean, listen, when we started, obviously, Facebook was the number one thing that was driving traffic, and then Instagram was later on. I'm upset I didn't make an Instagram account earlier than what I did for the business, and TikTok too as well. I mean, so LinkedIn and all these different pages you can do. This is just free real estate for you guys online, right? And this also helps push organic business your way too, because the more things you have online like this, the more SEO is improved for your website or your business, and the more people will be able to find you, which will increase sales. So, what I had to do is because when we started Type Medical Center, we had no money for advertising. And back in the day, Facebook, they still showed you a good amount of your audience without making you pay. And then later on, it started to be like, hey, listen, if you want any of your audience to see, you have to pay. But at that point, it sucked, but what we did was, you have to push organic material. I think, and that was the big thing that separated us from any other doctor's office out there. We had very unorthodox medical advertising practices. So people were not like, they weren't buying the Hummer. They weren't doing fashion shows. They weren't advertising guerrilla marketing like we were. Cause at first it was just me and Sharice. We were your brand ambassadors, your event promo models, and everything in between. Right. So at that point, we'd get people like that, and people would know, and then they would start signing up, and when you're there and you can talk to them, I started really pushing the social media page like that. Like, hey, listen, you can find us on social media. Cause in the beginning we'd have a website. So, we had a splash page, and then we had Facebook. So that, I was like, listen, just follow us on there. And then if you want any updates, and we'll have the website up shortly after. And we did, because I think that's essential too for any business out there. If you want to legitimize yourself credibility wise, you have to have that presence. But at that point, that's it. I mean, you have to find something that's niche to your product, and you should have a niche for your product anyway, which sets you apart from anybody out there. You should have some sort of story that how you started your business or how you got going in this aspect of your life that people can relate to. I think that's a big thing. And then you just got to get out there and be visible, and then you have to post. And you don't want to do the boring posts like, it's just blah, and somebody just goes by. It's something that catches people's eyes, or you're giving them great information that's free, of value. And at that point, that's the best thing. And that's what we did. Any events out there, people got real personal with me and Sharice as far as that goes, because I would show them what we were doing, and I think people can relate to that. They like that. And if people like it, they're going to follow, and then they're going to share it, and vice versa. So, that's what we did. I mean, that was really it. Obviously anything that we did, like, big events like the Olympias, whatever it is, we want people to sign up for our social media websites and get on our database too as well. I think that's the other thing. If you build up your database, you can push that out to your demographic, that either signed up with you before or signed up at some event that you might hit for the future. But right. I really do think that they go hand in hand, because you can build your social media through there, or vice versa. You can build the database through your social media. So it all works. And like I said, you want to open up as much real estate online as possible. It's free real estate. LinkedIn gives a free profile. They're starting to charge for advertising and stuff like that now. But X, get on Rumble, all these different places that you can have some sort of visibility. You can put up content and create free SEO for yourself, which is going to drive business.
When you have now got a team, and I know the start of what you were doing was you guys, just you and the missus. Mm-hmm. But now yes. You got a team. Does your team take and consider any of the tools that social media has, the analytics, the views, the push, the bumps? Because I know one thing that we haven't done is we haven't boosted a lot of material. What is your aspect on that stuff for these people out there that are building their personal training businesses, or sure. Just trying to mimic and follow along with what Titan Medical is doing? Because you built a great fan following and great interaction. And besides, the word of mouth is great as well.
Yeah, that's your best form of advertising, and that's how we really kicked it off, was word of mouth. We started with one patient, we got the results. They started spreading the word, of what they got. People started, hey, you look different. What are you doing? And they kind of sent them in. So Titan Medical did this to us. So that was one thing. But as far as boosting, I definitely believe in it. I do a lot of advertising through Instagram, Facebook, Meta in general, and I do boost certain things. And the good thing about it is you can hit the demographics you really want to hit. Target advertising is there. So at that point, you can really hone down into who is your demographic. And for us, it's a wide open demographic where it's 21 to 65, male and female. So at that point, it's pretty wide open and across the United States, where some people are just targeting one specific demographic, whether it's a male, female, kids, or whatever it is. So, that's what you want to do. You definitely want to boost something. If you're a personal trainer, for sure. And I would show like results. And that's the other thing. I do all our advertising and I've made all our ads, and I've had to learn it because it's changed the way and what you can have in an ad nowadays to compare what we started with. And they've got AI running in the background, like flagging your ad. So there's certain things you can't say or can't do, or it'll get flagged. Then you get restrictions on your account, which is a bad thing. So you have to know what you're doing on the back end to do your ads. So if you don't know, then you can find somebody that does the ads and they can handle that for you. Most places charge like a 20% fee on whatever your spend is. So you do the math of what you're doing, but you can do it yourself. You can definitely do it yourself.
More than a manager or agent fee.
That's
extreme.
So they do 20% of whatever the spend is. So if you spend $10,000, they're taking 20% of that, so $2,000 out. So yeah, that's what most agencies do. Like I said, I've never needed an agency. I know my ads. I go through my ads, and then just apply them or adapt, or I'll add new ones in. If something's working, I'm not going to let it down.
Right.
Once you spend a certain amount of money with like Facebook or Instagram, they will assign a personal person to you that will go over these ads and tell you what to do, or what's ads they don't like, or they'll give you some inside information that maybe you don't know. And every time I do that, like I'll take away little tidbits and just add them to my brain. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I know how to do this, and I'll do this next time. So, it's you're always going to have to, it's an ever learning process. Like you're always going to have to keep learning. Yeah. It's not something we just learn and I've mastered this and I won't have to worry about this. I wish it was like that, but it's always changing, man. It's always changing. But I would definitely recommend boosting some ads and grabbing attention and hit your demographic of what it is. And anything with advertising, it's not just one direction. There's always different forms of advertising that catch people in different ways. Billboards catch people in different ways. TV catches people in different ways. Radio, print ads used to. I don't know, print anymore. I don't know. But online, same thing. So the more times people see you, the more it's ingrained in their brain, and then they start asking questions like, "What is this? What does this company do? Let me look them up." And then they go to your website, and then you might convert on a patient, customer, whatever it is. So that's just that's little tidbits that I've taken away. I mean, you got to replace 1/3 of your customer base or patient base every year because people die, people move away, people use a competitor. So these are different things you have to look at, and you want to make sure that if your business can be successful, the right things that you have to look for. And I learned them all the hard way, and it's awesome because I got that experience. I didn't have to listen to somebody tell me this is what you should do. No, I had to just do it myself and learn for myself. So it's pretty cool.
Well, then let's jump into this next one. I think that's great, helpful for everybody out there. Social media building is essential and is needed, and that's what Titan Medical is doing right now. And Johnny is the forefront of that bad boy. He sent me a video today that I just thought was great that we collaborated on, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. That being said, Johnny, talk to us about when you're doing the peptide shots and you're doing some of these shots, and how can you minimize the bruising or the locations or anything like that?
Sure. So this is what I would do to minimize bruising. One, you got to make sure you're injecting properly. So some people, even though they think they're going in straight, it might be going in towards an angle. And then if you're doing 1 ml of fluid, you push in that area, and then it causes bruising because it actually doesn't damage blood vessels in there, but it gets in that area, it tightens up and basically expands out, and at that point causes a bruise. So some people get the bruising like that. Some people are prone to bruising. For people like that, I mean, usually I would say if you're going to go IM, you're going to usually go in your deltoids and stuff like that. I mean, if you really need to and you're not doing that many injections, you could go in your glutes. And at that point, if you're going to go in your glutes, even if you do have a little bit of bruising, it's not going to be seen per se, right? I mean, if you're doing photo shoots or whatever it is, you want to make sure you get the medication in you, then that's one spot you can go. You can go right there, and nobody's going to be able to see that unless you're doing some other form of art, as they say. So. But I mean, for me, I'm literally injecting 6 to 10 times a day. So I mean, in most patients, I've gotten some pretty crazy regimens, and no bruising there. Like I said, some people might be prone to bruising because of anemia and stuff like that, but I don't think that you fit that case. And if anybody tells me they're bruising, then I want to always go back to the injections. The other thing that happens is you want to make sure that you have a very sharp needle. And when I say this, I mean that if you pull your needle off, and you can look this up because it'll actually show like through a microscope how these needles look after you go in the bottle and puncture it one time, and you go up and down and puncture it a second time and a third time. And it'll show you because when you look at it, it's so small. Like, yeah, the bevel looks perfect. It's sharp, right? But if you look underneath the microscope, it's damaging to the needle. So at that point, when you inject it, it might stick in the skin when you're injecting, and you push down and you cause force, and that can cause a bruise too as well. So, I always tell people, I'm like, when you do a bottle, right, you put it all the way in, or if it's at the bottom of the bottle, put it halfway, but don't keep going in and out. Some people go in and out. So it is what it is. But those are the main things I think that I see with people, that cause them bruising.
Okay. Just so I understand, don't keep going in and out, right?
Don't be going in and out. Yeah. Not with the injection.
Okay, good.
Not with the needle in the stopper.
Well, let's go into this next one. This is Mother's Day weekend, and what is the go-to? And can you use that to go in and out?
Yes. So Mother's Day. So we've got a couple different things going on for the ladies out there, the mothers out there. We want to celebrate your day. We want to get you in the best health. We want you to feel your best you've possibly felt. And that's inside the bedroom and outside the bedroom, right? So we've got a couple different things for you ladies out here. First, the Mother's Day Blood Work Special. We have run the Blood Work Special last week, but at this point, we want to extend it out just for the ladies because we want to be able to help them get right if they want to get right or see what's going on or optimize themselves to be even better mothers than they already are today. So that's one thing. The next thing is we have our PT 141 is therapy of the week. So if you haven't heard of PT 141, this is an amazing FDA approved peptide for sexual enhancement, libido enhancement. It was originally FDA approved for the ladies for HSDD, hyposexual desire disorder, but it can work on males the exact same way. And it does not work like Viagra or Cialis with the vascular system. It works on the nervous system, creating true libido enhancement. That means you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be wanting to go. So whether you're premenopausal, postmenopausal, or just want to turn up that game in the bedroom and enhance your pleasure as well as your partners, then PT 141 is the way to go. And we have this in injectable form. We have this in a sublingual form. And we also have it in a nasal spray form too as well. So if you ladies want to get it and go, you guys can do that too. It's really, really cool. And like I said, it works very well for males and females, but it was really originally designed for females. Also, we do have Cupid's Candy, which has oxytocin. It has PT 141. It does have a little bit of tadalafil in there for blood flow. And at that point, that's called Cupid's Candy. That can be used with you or your partner, male, female, doesn't matter. And all other libido enhancers, Iron Man, Superwoman's, you name it, we got it. So at that point, it's going to be buy 5, get your 6th one for free. So we made a lot of different specials this week. 2 specifically for the ladies, but all 3 are dialed in for the ladies, so we can get you guys looking right, feeling right, performing right. Like I said, outside the bedroom and inside the bedroom.
Johnny, you are rocking today, my man. God dang.
I'm on it. I had to be.
This man must have had some NAD or something like that.
I did have my NAD today, actually. This is my day on. I had a big day today. So at that point, I'm like, I got to have some NAD in me because I want to function optimally.
We got to keep moving today. We got to keep moving. All right.
Let's
That
do
being
it.
said, I had a question about treatment for IGF, and is there something that I know that a lot of people mix up their IGF treatments because there's MK, there's Tessa Memorial, there's a plethora of things that you can do,
Yes.
and the more and more I look at this, for me, well, let's not worry about me. Let's worry about what Johnny thinks. What's the time that you would do something and then maybe switch it or not switch it? Would you do something for a year? Anything like that about IGF and how to stimulate the growth?
Sure. So IGF-1 LR3 is an IGF-1 therapy that we have. That one can get extended for, like, I would say, take it 90 days. At that point, give yourself, 10 to 30 day break, and then you can go back on it. Now, in that 10 to 30 day break, you can go on another GHRH peptide per se, like tesamorelin, samorelin, CJC1295 with ipamorelin, or even MK677. So at that point, you can go on that and then switch back after the 30 days if you like the IGF-1 treatment better, whichever one works best for you. Some treatments work better for people than others do. I don't know what to say about that. Everybody's different, and it does show through it sometimes. So when somebody says, "Oh, I really didn't like the CJC1295," or when they start taking tesamorelin per se, then they really like that, and they're like, "Man, this one works really a lot better." So it's just it's just different, I guess, but majority of people, they get a great effect from it. Now, CJC 1295 with ipamorelin or like tesamorelin, you can pretty much go on that all year round. So if you want to stay on it, you can go on it all year round. You can do the 3 months just like IGF-1 or even MK, because that's another GHRH oral peptide. We stay on that maybe 90 days tops. And then at that point, you get off for 10 to 30 days. And I would say 30 days. I know that some of the pharmacies will say 10 days is good enough, but you don't want to build up too much of a sensitivity to the medications at that point, because it won't work as good.
Plenty of great information right there for that.
Yeah.
Is one of the ones that you'd build up a tolerance, MK? Is that one of the big ones that you'd build a tolerance to?
Yeah.
And it's
So
one of the
after
most.
you
I'm sorry. Is it one of the greatest
No.
ones as well?
So
find-
MK67, yeah. So I guess, I'm sorry I passed over this. So MK677 is good for, it's really designated who you are and what you're trying to do. So when I asked that question, I'm like, all right, is this a person that is maybe an ectomorph, can't really, grow, needs to eat more? Is this a person like a real skinny person, for layman terms out there? A real skinny person that wants to get bigger, can't eat enough calories to get bigger, and needs this? Well, MK is going to be right up your boat.
That's
Yeah.
me.
That's you.
That's me. I need to eat more. I need to put some
I'm
size on.
kind of scared of putting you on MK because of that. I mean, you're going to blow up, especially if you're doing the right things. That's one thing. MK stimulates the ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and it stimulates IGF-1 levels. I mean, I've definitely seen it on paper. The clinical trials has been on. It's done very well. But at that point, if you can't control what you're eating, and you eat a horrible diet and you don't drink water and you drink pop all day, it's not going to do good for you as far as putting on good weight. But if you're doing everything right, this is going to be a game changer to how much mass and strength you can put on. The recovery factor, just with the IGF-1 levels going up, is one thing. But at that point, being able to recover faster, lift stronger, I mean, you're going to get a lot more size out of it. So that would be something I would ask somebody, hey, how's your diet? Can you control your diet? What are you trying to do? And now, if you can't control your diet and you still want to put on size, at that point, you're going to, the diet's a major part of it, guys. So I can't say just don't do the diet, because you're going to do the diet. But at that point, you can take the pill at night, right before you go to bed, and bypass the hunger that you're going to get. Because like I said, I tell this to everybody, and if you experience, you'll know what I'm saying, is when you eat a huge meal and then you take MK, 15 minutes later, 30 tops, you're going to want to eat a smorgasbord of food, and you don't care what it is. You're raiding the cabinets like you've been on a desert island for 30 to 60 days and haven't eaten anything. It's like that to a certain extent. But, if you go on it for past 90 days, that's going to go away.
Okay, so that's the big one. Let's jump over to tea and taking something with the tea to actually enhance even a little bit more. What do you recommend?
Yes. All right. So there's two. I mean, there's two things that work very well, and clomiphene is one of them, and HCG is still out there. So HCG is another one. What these things do is that they're add back therapies to the testosterone. So when you take testosterone, there's a signal, if you take it from an outside source, a signal that goes to the brain. Brain says, all right, cool. We're getting an outside source of testosterone. Now the signal goes down to the testicles and says, we're getting an outside source of testosterone. So we do not need you to work. So what happens is the testicles go on vacation per se. And then you start getting atrophy, shrinkage, and all these different things that are going on, low semen production. That's where the myth of you'll become infertile if you take testosterone. It's not that you're infertile. It's that you don't have very much semen going on. So you're at a lower rate there as far as across the board than a normal person. But if you take a clomiphene or you take HCG, what this does is this doesn't cut off your natural production. So your testicles are still stimulating, right? So you're producing a good amount of semen as far as production wise. And at that point, your testicles aren't shrinking into baby raisins, prunes. Is what we call it. Yeah, because that's what does happen. And it's tightness. It can become uncomfortable for patients. And then they keep shrinking. So at that point, it's aesthetic wise, it's not good either. So it's definitely important. Now, libido increases with these things, not just semen production. Because I get guys say, I don't want to be a dad anymore. I've already had enough kids. I'm done with having kids. I don't care about the fertility. But we want to talk about the other things like the aesthetics portion, no tightness of the testicles, having good libido effect. And then obviously the other things that come along with it. So it will increase your testosterone replacement therapy if you're taking these add back therapies with it. Like you'll feel better. You'll have bigger boosts. Definitely a way to go across the board.
This is great. So, just to recap real quick here, we went over the Mother Day gift, some blood work, and some extra stuff in the bedroom as well. We definitely just went over the testosterone, and you can do something with it to help keep the gonads working as well, and keeping that going. The therapies on how long you should do something for your IGF and then changing it periodically to give it something different so your body doesn't adapt to it. We went over, and which I think is great, to talk to somebody that's built up a social media company to help promote his own business. This is just great stuff for you guys to learn if you're out there and you're trying to create your own business. Again, John's not just successful in his business, successful in life and everything he's doing. So this is a plus for us just to have him here hanging out with us, man.
I love you guys, man.
It's so good. But now I want to jump from all this stuff to I know that you got my guy Vlad there, and you guys got a lot of good stuff happening in Titan Medical. Besides being the big dog in TRT and HRT world, you guys are kind of working on a documentary now. And I know you can't say too much, but you can give us a little bit of love here. What's going on?
Sure. So, Generation Iron contacted us. So they want to do like a short little documentary. It's 20-30 minutes, nothing crazy, to see how it goes. And they want to come down and do it. So Vlad and Edwin came down here with one of the videographers. And at that point, they wanted to see the center, and they wanted to see how, we started. They wanted to get a few testimonials from patients that have been with us, talking about maybe their results, what they think about Titan Medical Center and all that. So we did some of that content today as far as that goes. And, having them down here is very cool, at that point. And, they had a lot of questions about the business, how it's ran, how, what we do and how we became who we are today, I guess. So super cool. At that point, like we were talking about you, and he's like, "You sure Mike's going to want to, will he talk about what he's taken?" And I'm like, well, he's not taking HRT, so you can just get off the board. Cause because he's natty, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but at that point I'm like, peptides are another whole nother ball game. So, I think that you want to be just like any other guy, right? You want to feel your best, look your best, and perform your best, especially where you're at in life. You're still rocking and rolling, kicking ass and taking names. So at that point, I think it's essential for somebody to feel their best and be able to perform their best. I was talking about the peptides. Like, I don't think he's got a problem discussing the peptides or anything like that. But then he's doing it, right? So
I love how nervous those guys get.
Right? It worked too. I was like, oh. was like, Mike,
Guys,
Mike must have put the
good.
fear of God in them for sure.
Come on now. At this age, come on. Let's rock and roll. Let's get into this stuff. Let's. I want Titan Medical to be worldwide before we are said and done with this, and have this around the world so people can understand how good it feels to be rocking and rolling like we're doing, compared to when we were youngsters and we'd look at somebody. And I have to say this, is that I look at these TV shows of these guys and I'm like, holy cow, that guy was 10 years younger than me. And he was the old guy in the show. And so how much it's changed on how well our bodies can, if treated correctly, continue to be amazing pieces of equipment for us to continue on in life. And so Johnny has taught me so much over this last year. And again, the footage we got to get together and just really crush it shows how much I've optimized my body and took it to another level.
Man,
because of this man.
Amazing. Thank you. You did the work, though. That's a team effort there, man. That's definitely a team effort.
So I got a question. We're going to go from that for one more question for you. And this is an important one. I do the work. Is that correct?
You do the work.
Okay. So it's not just you give me peptides or aminos, or I moderately eat. I do the work I have to do at home so that Titan Medical and how they help me will optimize my health.
Yes.
You can only do so much. And the reason why I say that is because I see some of these kind of things. What do you want to say to that?
Whether I've been on Ozempic for 6 months and haven't lost a pound.
What does that mean to you?
As far as what you're saying, as far as putting in the work,
it just seems to me I'm taking the pill. I didn't change any habits, and I haven't changed.
Yeah. Well, it's real simple and easy. So, Titan Medical Center has therapies that are tools, but you got to be able to utilize these tools, and you got to be able to do your part. Right? They're going to do their part, and they're going to expedite the result, but you got to be the driving force to get that result. So at that point, like, you have to start changing your lifestyle. And that's what we call a Titan lifestyle, where you're changing your nutrition plan, something that's going to benefit your body and get you healthier. That's the main goal. Don't even think about weight loss with nutrition. Don't think of it as a diet. I know we say diet all the time because that's just ingrained in our heads. It's what we say, but it should be a nutritional plan. A nutritional plan should benefit the body and help you reach your goal. Whether it is to lose weight, whether it is to maybe heal yourself from something that you have, maybe it's, irritable bowel syndrome or whatever it is. The next thing is you got to be active. We got to have activity. Our bodies as humans were not made to sit still. They weren't made to just sit there on the couch all day.
A little bit more still than yours, yes, because you are on the go. I need a little sleep.
It is what it is. I mean, you understand. It's like, if you're like that, you're saying it's going to do bad. So, you got to have activity. You got to, want to be able to exercise. I mean, especially if you're trying to reach a physical goal, aesthetic goal, even just a health goal for internal cardiovascular health. But at that point, you gotta start putting a plan in place for yourself and hold yourself accountable. And that's the biggest thing that people always rationalize. Oh, I can't do it today because I got this, or throw all the excuses out the window, because you are the main person driving your destiny. If you're not going to drive yourself, then you ain't going to get nowhere. So I think that's vital. Like I said, drinking water and sleeping too. And, sleep, I'm not the best one on the block because, I might get 5 or 6 hours, but I try to get the 8. I try, I get good REM sleep. I'm keeping track of it, but,
you're
so,
real life
I think
you're fine. Yeah. You're fine. You're doing it right. I just want to make a point of you can't take something and then suddenly drop weight. And then why is it the weight? Why not develop muscle and get rid of fat instead of the body weight?
Right.
Because my body weight isn't much changed from off season to ripped. It's just the calculation has changed. So guys, again, Titan Medical is here to help you. We got the number. We got the information. You got to do your homework.
Yes.
Don't throw pearls to swine. Johnny is throwing pearls. grab these things. Use what he's talking about and teaching you guys today. It's amazing.
Yeah,
So
it's free
no,
information.
you're not going to take something and just get in shape.
No, there's that. And like that's what I said. Like even Motsi, where it mimics exercise. That's not substituting. It's not a substitute for exercise. You take it to help you get the result with exercise. So there's just certain things out there. People want instant gratification, and unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And you can't fake it to make it with your body. You can do implants, you can do all that, but you can't fake it to make it. I'm telling you, you'll be unhealthy. Something's going to get online. Even people that get liposuction, you get lipo, but you don't change anything in the lifestyle. Now you won't have those fat cells in the area, but the different fat cells will move in the area and it'll start looking really weird. So, it's just like, if you're going to get something like that, you better make the changes. And I would make them beforehand before you even think about doing anything like that. Just so you're good to go in the future.
Johnny, thanks for hanging out today.
I appreciate you, Mike.
Absolutely crushed it, man. Give those boys from Generation Iron a hello from me.
I will.
And,
definitely will.
We'll talk later today and we'll probably jump on
Yes,
another one later this week, man. I appreciate
Yes,
your time, brother.
Appreciate you too, bro. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Johnny.
Bye-bye.
So this is the goal. This is the goal for you guys. I would take in consideration on everything you talked about today. Keep building up your social media pages to build that. Think about the IGF and not staying on the same protocol all year and continue to get your blood checked to make sure that you're doing things right. It is Mother's Day weekend. So for you guys that are going to be rocking mom, again, they're doing a special. So, well, hopefully you're not rocking your own mom, but you know what I mean? That being said, what else did we cover? Went over the tea and he was talking about having something else along with that. So that way you don't shut down your own body's production and the gonads could still be functioning correctly is what you would like to do. Mary is on here. And so Mary is one of the Titan crew members and I cannot wait to see how her blood work comes back. And then again, if you guys feel like you want me to see the blood work, I am willing to go over that in the Titan crew and talk to you guys. Get in there if you want and sign up. Titan Crew's free for anybody that's subscribed to the meal plan and training. And I will talk to you guys in there about rocking and rolling, getting in shape and following along with me and the others that are in there, getting in shape. I know somebody said, I look depleted. Oh, I am depleted. I have been dieting for a while here and I am pushing it to another level. I love it when it gets hard. And I think anybody out there that really likes this stuff, they like when it gets hard because that's when you know you're doing something that most people will not do or push that hard. And so I always like that. I always like that mental approach, knowing that not everybody wants to go to this level. It's fun for me. It's fun for me to still do this decades later. Let me see if there's any questions here that I can answer for you guys. I'll definitely throw that up. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Hope you had a great day. Diva is on. She's a rock star. I don't see anything else here. No real questions. A lot of hellos and stuff. Thank you so much for all the hellos. I do appreciate that. No, Titan Medical does not work in Canada. You got to be in the States here for that. So unfortunately, but I imagine you guys have something up there, right? Let's see what else we got. All right, we're coming down to the end here with this. I'll let you guys go today. I'll see everybody else in the Titan crew this week. Let's get some of that more exercises up in the Titan crew. I kind of like that. I like seeing that. All right, guys. We will see you later this week.